We're live.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Board of Public Works meeting today, July 27th, 2022 at 1 p.m. I'd like the clerk to note the presence of a quorum, please.
Larry Carino,
Here.
Jimmy,
Here.
we do have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, I know of no changes to the agenda, and the first order of our business today is to approve or adopt the minutes from our meeting of May 25th, 2022. Do I have a motion? To approve the minutes.
I so moved.
I'll second. Is there any discussion or corrections?
We do have one error. The action item number 2 should be approval of minutes of the special meeting April 26th. Is that correct? I think you said May something.
No, May 25th, 2022. Approval of those minutes.
Okay, so moved.
I'll second that. If there's any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Jimmy,
Yes.
Yes.
All right,
We have
minutes,
two.
minutes are approved. All right, the first action item is action item number 2, contracts, agreements, Duke Energy and City of Westfield easement from the Westfield Fire Department regarding the new public safety building. Is this the right?
That's not the right one.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've got the wrong agenda. Okay. Yes, that's it. That's it. Action item number 2.
Okay, the one posted on the website's incorrect then. Okay. Okay, I must have one from
Okay.
a couple days ago. All right.
All right. We're on
Okay.
target here.
We're on target.
So, Chief Gaylor, are you presenting or?
Chief Gaylor, Westfield Fire Department. I can present. What we have here is an easement agreement with Duke Energy and City of Westfield regarding the new Station 81. Bringing in an access, utility access in the easement property there. So as you can see, here's the existing overhead lines, a dotted line there, and wanting to just adjust the easement a little bit there near the pond.
All right. Any questions for Chief Gaylor? For my understanding, the line is underground through the easement, and this will come atop, or is it
Well, the lines are existingly, they're
overhead?
So they're going to be running power line underground further back on the property. And so this is just an easement for them to manage those lines.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Larry, any questions?
No questions.
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the easement.
I'll second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Moving on to action item number 3, TMC Westfield LLC and City of Westfield dedication of public right-of-way, Sunbelt Rentals. Jeremy, are you presenting?
This is
John, hi.
May. I'll present. Yep. So this is the Sunbelt Rental project there at 169th and Westfield Park Road. Our thoroughfare plan requires developers, when they plat, to dedicate right-of-way in accordance with our thoroughfare plan. And this is just them doing exactly that. They are dedicating their necessary public right-of-way, half right-of-way, for any future roadway improvements that may or may not occur on 169th Street and Westfield Park Road. So pretty standard process. We've accepted right-of-way dedications from many other developers in the past. This is no different than those, same standard paperwork and so forth. So I would ask that you accept this right-of-way dedication.
All right, thank you. Do you have any questions for Jonathan now?
No questions.
I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'll second that motion. Your motion is to approve.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I call the question. Those in favor of approving action item number 3 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next, action item number 4, MI Homes of Indiana and City of Westfield Park Impact Development Agreement on the Bonterra development. Who's presenting?
Yes,
Jonathan?
that'll be John again. So, yep. So Bonterra is a residential development that's under construction on the south side of 32, but just west of Gray Road. As part of their project, they needed to connect their sanitary sewer to a sanitary sewer manhole on the south side of the Midland Trail. Our construction standards do not permit open cuts of our trail. However, the particular nature of the connection, it made it really cost prohibitive for the developer and time consuming as well to jack and bore under the trail in this particular case. And so we worked out this agreement with the developer. They were willing to pay $30,000 in park impact fees, as well as some other contingencies as far as resurfacing the trail and fencing the trail in during the open cut. Some things we wanted to see done, and in exchange, we allowed them to open cut that trail to install their sanitary sewer system. I think it was kind of a win-win for both parties. It saved the developer some time and money on that necessary sanitary connection, as well as they were able to achieve the closure in a short amount of time as we had prescribed, as well as we were able then to use that $30,000 in park impact fees for some other potential beautification projects or trail-related projects along the Midland to help improve that trail corridor. So I view it as a win-win, and I would ask the board accept this agreement to collect our $30,000 in park impact fees and permit the developer to make the sanitary sewer connection.
All right, thank you. When will they start work on this if it's approved, Jonathan?
Well, it was pretty time sensitive, so I believe actually at this point they have actually installed this connection already, this open cut.
Okay.
But I did want to formalize it through the board, to show that we were collecting that $30,000 in park impact fees. So the work's actually been accomplished already, and they've actually repaved the Midland Trail as well. But because we didn't have, this would have been on last month's Board of Public Works agenda, but because we didn't have a meeting, I want to just memorialize it on this one.
Okay, very good. I'd entertain a motion to approve action item number 4.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second. Any further discussion? All those in favor of approving action item number 4 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. Thank you, Jonathan. Action item number 5, BLN and City of Westfield Tomlinson Road Widening, professional service proposal. Jonathan?
Yep. So as you may be aware, Tomlinson Road is a rather narrow roadway as you get north of 191st Street, and really just north of the school there, going up to Chatham Hills. We've gotten a myriad of complaints from residents in the area about the narrowness of the roadway and the underlying safety issues caused by that narrow road. So we went ahead and pulled together a project to do a Tomlinson Road widening. And this proposal in front of you is actually the engineering professional design services from Beam Longest and Neff, known as BLN. It's an engineering consulting firm, to do the roadway design, do the plans, utility coordination, and get us to a bidding to get us to bidding for hopefully early next year to widen out Tomlinson Road to improve the safety conditions of that roadway. So the overall contract is for $136,900. Includes all the plan, roadway design, plan creation, utility coordination, and permitting that's necessary to get this project from lines on paper to actual constructible roadway. It's well in line with what I would expect to pay for the scope of the work that we're doing. And then the plans themselves are necessary to work with Duke and other utilities in the area to relocate. They really don't want to do any relocation until they see physical roadway plans. So that's why we are bringing on a consultant to do this design work and to start that utility coordination process for the project.
I got a question for you. How will this be paid for?
Yeah, so the professional services, typically we pay for those out of road impact fees, generally speaking. And indeed, we are planning on paying for this contract via road impact fees. With regards to the actual Tomlinson Road construction, we're working on 2023 budgeting right now, and I do have that slated. I'll have to go back to my budget, but I believe I actually have some MVH dollars for that one for the construction itself. But the design services will be paid for out of road impact fees.
All right, thank you. I entertain a motion. Or do you have any questions?
No, the one question I had was about the funding. Do you expect it to be in next year's budget for sure?
For construction, yes, I do.
Okay,
I do.
that's all.
Yep, we are trying to get this one built quickly. We've certainly heard the complaints from residents up there, and we're trying to remedy the situation as quickly as we can.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's very important to those residents in the city as well.
Yep.
There's a lot of traffic up there. All right, thank you. I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the contract.
I'll second. All those in favor of approving this action signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Action item number 5 is approved. All right, then we get into the consent agenda. The Westfield Police Department is looking to promote some officers. You will make a comment on that, Joel? Or?
There we go. That's on. Yeah, so these promotions are really just a piece of some of the plans that we have going on right now. The bigger picture is we're kind of decentralizing the department in our structure. There'll be some appointments made by me. We're going to appoint 2 majors. That's a position that we used to have, but we haven't had for several years. But we're going to put 2 majors in. Those are Charles Hollowell and Mike Bigroy. One will be in charge of operations, which will be both investigations and patrol, and the other one will be in charge of our special service unit. The special service unit, you'll see them out at Colts Camp. You'll see them when our SROs and training, and they touch on just about everything else that we do that supports the whole department. So after we promote those 2 majors, we're bringing in, I'll appoint a captain, and it'll be Eric Grimes. So what happens with these folks are they start filling in. There's a domino effect when you bring people up, and they'll fill in those positions that are voided. But we got some other neat things happening too. This is something, quite honestly, we've been thinking about for several years, just haven't had the staffing to do. Some things that really are important to us as a department and to our community when they find out what those services are. We're putting together a special service unit. There'll be 3 people, a sergeant and 2 officers. And we're really excited about it because it gives us the opportunity to do some things that we've never done before. when I first came on, as you know, you both were here, we had to rely on other agencies for things. We were so small. We've grown a lot over the past 12 or 13 years, and with that, the mayor, the councils that we've had, even current council, with the support we've gotten, we were able to provide enough staffing to get the things done we need to do as a community. But the special service unit will be this group of 3 officers that will be really targeting those things that we haven't been able to target. In my opinion, there's been some things that, quite frankly, have kind of fallen through the cracks only because of staffing issues. We've always had to farm out certain things like drug investigations that went on other than a traffic stop. You know, we give it to the task force. There's a lot of things that we could do better, and with this unit, we'll be able to do better. I call it kind of the crime of the month. You know, sometimes it could be as, like right now, we have an increase in the amount of construction site thefts. We have issue with catalytic converter thefts. So this little group will be tasked with going out and addressing those issues. So we're really excited about it. So I'm trying to think. The other thing that we're doing, other than that, is we put another criminal investigator in. That's Leanne Carter, with another one that we're going to be putting in towards the end of the year, beginning of next year, and that's Taylor McCorkle. So just a little update on some of the things that we're doing, but I thought it important to mention that other than this, we're doing a lot of other things too. So I'm hoping that the community will to see really their services getting better as we grow. So that's that.
All right, thank you. You have any
Yeah,
questions?
Joel, are these promotions budgeted right now, or?
Yeah, we're able to fund them with our current budget.
Okay.
And then it's encompassed into the 2023 budget for approval by council.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I'd consider, thank you, Joel. I consider a motion on the consent agenda.
Well, the consent agenda is the whole thing here, right?
Yeah, it is. Do you have any other?
Yeah, the 161st title sheet. Again, I'm the new guy here. What does that mean? What is a title sheet?
Yeah, so when we do a roadway project, Larry, you can see on the screen on the left side, there's a signatures that go onto that title sheet. That's literally the title sheet, the first page of the roadway plans. This particular one's for 161st and Oak Roundabout, but the Board of Public Works signs the title sheet as kind of the overall approving body of this project, that they approve of the project moving forward, and that, you know, with staff review that these plans are good to construct. So it's a formality where the Board of Public Works signs the title sheet, as well as I sign it as well as the director.
So it's actually this is the official start of the project, correct?
The officials, I would say, I guess it depends on how you define it, but yeah, I mean, you're officially signing off on these plans are ready, they're designed, and we're ready to move forward with construction.
And what kind of timeline are we looking at?
For 161st and Oak, we're still finishing up 2 right-of-way acquisitions on that project, but we'll be constructing it in summer of 23 when school is out of session to avoid impacts to our bus transportation folks. So the idea is that we're going to open up 161st and Union here in a week, and in less than a week, I should say. And then, you know, we'll swing back through a year from now in the summertime, starting probably June 1st or so, to do the construction of 161st and Oak. And once that's complete, we'll have that east-west 161st Street corridor all the way over to Gray Road through Westfield, which is what we had been the goal for several years now.
Is that all funded? The Oak
Yes,
Street?
it is. Yeah, 161st and Oak. We actually received federal dollars through the MPO for 80% of the construction cost of this project.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Let's see, next one is,
We're still on the consent agenda,
yep, yeah,
so.
the documents, that's straightforward.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda as stated.
I'll second.
All those in favor of approving the consent agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. The consent agenda is approved as stated. Then we get into department reports. Chief Gaylor, do you have any updates for us from fire?
Yeah, Rob Gaylor, Westfield Fire Department. Have two reports here. The first one is the report from June of, you're fine, of this year. And so we had 153 fire incidents and 285 for 438 total. Just in the month of June. June, you know, last time, May was our busiest month. June surpassed that, and then we're actually looking at surpassing that again in July here. So just in retrospect, 2021, we did 343 responses in the month of June. 22, again, there's 3 here that it's missing, but 438 for the total, which was an increase of 26, almost 27% from June 21 to June 22. We did have a couple pretty significant, I don't have it in this one, fire that we had back there in June. And then the other one that I want to take a little bit more time on is the second quarter report. So this is just a quarterly report from fire and EMS folks. And just in the second quarter, not for the half of the year, but just Q2 of 22, we took 1,226 calls. 68% of them being EMS and 32% being fire. 69 to 70% is the national average, and will vary from 68 to 72, just depending on where we're at. Of the fire incidents that we did have, the total value of pre-incident for the property was over $7 million, almost $8 million. We did incur some losses of about $25,500 on that loss. So how that happens is we had 3 vehicle fires and 2 house fires, and you take their incident or their value, assessed value, and we lost 1 car out of all of that is essentially how we come up with these numbers. And so that's a pretty good save rate as far as the workload and what our folks are doing. Just broken out by district, so call it district or station. District 1, District 2, and District 3. The number of responses in each district, this is 2021 and this is 2022. Again, you can see an increase from last year, and running pretty close to the same as far as percentages and overall workload. Just a breakdown of what calls that we've accumulated. Again, medical 831. A good intent call is a call that we would get there and maybe someone's having some issues with a water leak in their house or something like that we get the call for. False alarms, 85. We had 85 false alarms, which is really pretty good. 10 years ago, we really had a problem with our alarm calls. And we've been averaging about that 6 or 7% of our workload being false alarms, which is pretty good. So again, just in the second quarter, we did 1,225 runs. Overall, for the first half of '22, we're seeing a just over 16% increase in call volume versus '21, and month of July, next month when I present for July, we're in '21, we ended with an average of just over 11 calls per day. The month of July, we're not finished, we're averaging over 16 calls a day. So a significant increase in what we've seen for work this summer. Aid given and received. This is for our medical calls. We have given aid 22 times. We've received aid 71 times. Different medic unit in our city. This is how many times that these agencies, Carmel, Noblesville, Sheridan, Zionsville, have been in our district. Last year, at this time, we had 137 incidents in which they were in our city, and right now, second quarter, it was 114, so a little less than. So we've been fortunate enough to do some improvements there. On the fire side, again, these are the agencies that have assisted us, or we have assisted, so we've given aid 36 times and received aid 25 times in the second quarter. So, care facility calls, which extended care facility is, we have 6 of them in our district, and just comparing them from last year to this year, they're all doing relatively static, if you will. So we get a lot of calls into some nursing or extended care facilities. One that we're keeping an eye on is Copper Trace, and I think in reality this number is a large increase in calls this year versus last year, but I think that they've got some more folks in beds at this time than they did last year is what we're finding. So again, at the end of the quarter, we're up just a little over 16% versus the same time in '21. Be happy to entertain any questions that you folks may have.
The false alarms.
Yes, sir.
They have the monitoring system, and the alarms go off, and you're not notified that they're.
So
How does that work?
So a false alarm could be just that. Maybe they're doing some construction in the school, and they kick up some concrete dust, and it sets off the alarm, and we get there. It could be a residential alarm. Maybe someone burnt some popcorn in the microwave, and it set off their alarm. The alarm monitoring company calls us, and we get dispatched and respond to those. So
I just wondered how where the dispatch came from, whether it was.
yeah, it depends. It varies just based on, a lot of them are the alarm monitoring companies, especially on a commercial product or a commercial business. We'll call dispatch and we'll respond. Occasionally, we get the private residence that calls in, my alarm's going off, can you come check it out? So they're all encompassed into that. In the report, I broke them down into residential versus commercial just to give a little more detail into that. But by and large, it's truly a false alarm.
And
I know some communities bill for false alarms. We don't do that yet, do we?
We do. We actually have a billing ordinance that allows us to bill. We do it for repeat offenders, if you will. We all have a bad day, and sometimes you burn some popcorn in the microwave and it causes the alarm to go off. So we're not going to bill you for that. But if it's a repeated issue at a commercial facility that's doing a lot of construction, and we've told them, we do have a system to implement fines, yes.
Anything else? Any update on construction?
Yeah, Station 81 is The new building is up out of the ground. If you venture out to the west side of town, you can drive by and see it. They actually have some of the block laid for the bay doors. So it's starting to resemble a fire station. And been a little slower with the weather here lately, but they've really made some headway. They got the footings in, a lot of the corners set, and are starting to getting some steel delivered out there to the site so they can actually start bringing up some structure and work on some more masonry.
Still looking close to schedule on that?
What they're telling me, yeah, we're looking real close. You remember, we got started just a little late, and so I would believe that by this time next year, we're actually going to be moving parts and pieces, equipment, apparatus and stuff like that into the building to work on operating out of it. So
Great.
Great. Well, thank you for that report. You guys do a phenomenal job with what you have, and we appreciate that. All right. Police, do you have anything to add to what you had stated earlier?
I actually do. We've noticed kind of a busy summer also. A lot of the runs we share, you know, and a lot of these medical runs, mental emotional runs that we've seen an uptick in, we're actually going together on. So I've been looking at a lot of data lately, and we're up on those runs involving mental emotional issues, the suicides, the overdoses, things like that, which we do share the run. We're also up in property crime. A lot of that has to do with like I said, the construction site, the catalytic converters. A lot of times crime parallels what's going on in you know, the economy, and right now, you know, here we have such an uptick in construction, obviously, and we have people out there that are just taking advantage of the situation, and that's part of the problem on that. I do want to just go over a couple different items that we have. We have Jake Laird Community Day next week. That's Tuesday from 5 to 8 at Quaker Park. I think it's our 11th year. And so it'll be fun for the family. A lot of games, and we have food, have music again this year. So, and then obviously we showcase a lot of our equipment and personnel. So should be fun, and it coincides with National Night Out. So
What's the location on that? Is
Quaker Park.
Quaker Park?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Our officers are out Colts camp right now. Actually, it should be ending about now. We got moved inside today, but we have a full squad of police officers out there, along with volunteers, working side by side for the next 3 weeks. So, and we always look forward to that. Citizens Academy will start September 8th. Will be our first one. Looking forward to that. We haven't had it for a couple of years because of COVID. So it's all revamped and should be a really good program. We're still taking applications. You can go to our website for that. And last but not least, we hired our last person that had been approved, Nick Clapp. He came on in July. He's doing some onboarding now, and will be going to the academy later this month. So that's all I've got.
All right. Well, thank you for that, and thank you for all you do. How about Public Works? Do we have anything, Jerry or Jonathan?
I can give a quick update. Since the last time we met, we have opened 169th and Spring Mill Roundabout. It's been well received from folks that use that intersection. So that was good news. We're on schedule to open 161st and Union August 1st. That's a Monday. It's ribbon cutting scheduled for 11 a.m. I will say that we're still scheduling it in that fashion, but you know what happens with weather this week may change that slightly. So just stay tuned. Still on track for August 1st, but with the caveat that weather is a little unpredictable.
From a distance, it looks really good.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a nice, nice roundabout, especially coming down off the hill from 31 and kind of an entrance into Westfield for folks. So we're very proud of that. And then 191st Street, I know a lot of people are very eager to get that open, and I understandably so. As of this morning, we have westbound open to get from 31 over to Colts Camp at Grand Park. So you can get from 31 to Tomlinson Road. You do have to utilize the Chatham Commons Boulevard kind of U-shaped roadway to get around the construction. But once you get past the Kitty Academy, you can take a right and go westbound on 191st Street towards Tomlinson from there. Eastbound is not open, but the westbound direction at least can get you to Colts Camp if you're choosing to go. And we will continue to work with our contractor to try and get that wrapped up as quick as possible for the roundabout portion itself that is now starting to be under construction on that project. So we're eager to get that one finished, but a good first step in getting westbound direction open. Other than that, if you have any other questions, specific questions, I'm happy to answer anything you might have.
Any questions, Larry?
Nope.
No, thank you for that, Jonathan. Appreciate it. Well, that concludes our agenda for the day. I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody.